So, Cyril Gane just did an interview. I believe this to be the only interview he's ever done since losing his interim championship. It probably is. I feel like if Cyril would have said something, I would have heard about it. Cyril in this interview talked about why he went for his leg lock. Says it's a technique he knows well. He's won a fight before in the past. He finishes everybody in the gym with that technique. Who cares? Who in the blue hell cares of any sporting event that's over in the history of ever? Do you think Joe Montana has ever gone and told a reporter why he threw a pass in the second down of a game that was a month ago? Would you want to know? A more recent example and a much more popular guy, not as good of a quarterback, but much more popular, is this Brady guy. Do you think Brady's going to be giving interviews now or ever in the past to discuss what he did, positive or negative, in a game that's behind us? Now, I don't begrudge Cyril. If Cyril was asked a question, it was a very gentleman thing for him to do, to answer the question. I don't begrudge Cyril. I also wish I had the 4 minutes of my life back that I took the time to go read an interview. He's agreed to one interview since this fight. For all I know, nobody's called him. I still hold that against Cyril. If your phone's ringing and you're saying no to interviews, or your phone's not ringing and you're not out finding interviews, I still begrudge Cyril, who has amongst the most beautiful records within the division, who is just a champion within this year, and whose division appears to have a vacant strap, and they're going to need two guys. So now he doesn't have one opportunity like he chased and successfully found for two different title fights, one for the interim and one for the undisputed. He now has two opportunities. They don't have a red side or a blue side. There has never been a time to speak up more than right now. And this is what he gives us. Why he went for a technique that missed. I can tell you it would have been very different if I was the one interviewing Cyril, because I would have called him on it. I would have said, Cyril, I'm trying to get people to watch this. They could sip on some NyQuil, or they can listen to you. Help me out here. And if I would have been Cyril, I would have lied quickly. So why did I go for the leg lock? Why did the ref not stop it? I put him in a leg lock. His knee popped. He's even admitting to the world he's got to go have surgery. He came up with a story before the fight. Came up with a story after the fight that the injury was before the fight. No, it wasn't. It was right there. I'm the one that tore his ACL, and he tapped out. That's how I would have done it. I don't expect Cyril or any of the rest of you to be the genius mind of Chael Sonnen, but that's what I would have done. You put the sumbitch in a leg lock, sumbitch hobbles out of the ring when the fight's over, puts his whole career on hold because he got to go under a knife, and came with a story that he was hurt before you did said leg lock. Why would Cyril not have taken the credit? And then if you want to go into the level of silliness and claim that he tapped out, or he verbally tapped, or he said, go ahead. Who cares? All we're looking for is to be entertained, Cyril. We don't actually care why you thought a knee bar was there. It was an opportunity to tell a story, your story, any story. But when the facts are laid out as clear as they are, I mean, I will tell you, if I go for a leg manipulation on a guy, and I don't get it, but in all fairness, I went for it. I went for a leg manipulation on a gentleman who's never had a leg manipulation attempted on him, and then he comes out of the ring and announces he's going under the knife to go and have a surgery. I'm taking credit for it. And nobody would dispute me. All you got to do is make the claim, I felt it pop. Oh man, I felt it pop. I thought he was going to tap. I actually released the hold just a little bit. There were so many different ways to go with this that would have presented you with something interesting. I wish him well. I'm sorry. I was trying to make him tap. I didn't mean to injure him. Yeah, he's an old friend of mine. There was 20 different ways to go with it. Not to mention there was 20 different things to do within an interview. I have been listening with my ear to the grindstone for Cyril Gane to speak up because I happen to like him. I've never met him. I just happen to like him. He seems like a cool guy to me. I liked the way he treated Junior Dos Santos in the ring. I liked when Junior said the elbow was illegal and they had Cyril watch it on the big screen and Cyril said, yeah, it might have been illegal. I thought he looked like a very cool and a very playful guy. Somebody that I'll come over here and I'll serve. I'll help get his message out. He's terrible about it. Give me a little something. I'll package it up. I'll present it to the world. That's what my feeling towards Cyril. He chooses to do absolutely nothing. Then when he does do something, he does the only thing that he should not do. So let's rethink this, guys. Cyril Gane goes for a leg lock that apparently he's being teased for. It was a bad position. He ends up giving up position. He gets reversed. Okay. Why'd you go for that technique? Great. I've been asked that a few times in my life too. It's an embarrassing moment, but if I was to answer the question and I'm a Cyril, here's the math and here's the facts. I went for the one and only leg manipulation we've ever seen the big guy go through, and now he's going into surgery and he's out for 10 months. It seems to add up. Cyril didn't take credit. He didn't do a victory lap. He's going to see me say this right now and go, my goodness, what was I thinking? Or he's going to see this right now and go, but Chael, I did not hear it pop. And he did not say, ow. Okay. Okay. Good enough. So there's your update on Cyril Gane. Apparently he went for a leg lock against Francis Ngannou because to the few training partners he's tried that on in practice, it worked.